I had 3 positive curveballs active at the same time, and that made lethal zones so much easier. So I spawn in and we get a message from the medics.
Hey neighbor, we found a location for our clinic, but the zombie situation is out of control. Can you help us out?
Yes, Will. I think we can help you out, my friend. Although we do have a bit of a serious issue going on back at home. Nah, it's fine. We'll help out the strangers. And I think this job has Hooch's name written all over it. So after a quick arm up and fix up, I hit the road. Seems pretty simple to me. We bust in there, defeat whatever zombies are in there, and make the place nice and safe for our friends. You know what? I'm not going to call them strangers anymore. They are our friends. We have an optional objective to chat to them first. But why would I waste valuable diesel travelling to them when I can just travel straight to the clinic via an off-road route that surprisingly doesn't end up with me on my roof.
Fucking awesome!
Nice one, Gaz. Leftover explosives. What a find. Gaz, man, you are a legend. So I park up and get to work. I toss a molly, shoot the screamer, and everyone else runs outside, which thankfully clears the clinic, even if there's a party of knobheads in the front garden. It's a good thing you're doctors, because I might need some treatment for 3rd-degree burns. Then on the other side of the wall, I can stealth kill the zombies that fall over it. And you all know I love a cinematic takedown. I love that takedown. That was amazing. I never crouch because I'm like the least stealthy boy around. So I've never seen these stealth takedowns. I'm about to do another one. At this point, the medics arrive, and I take advantage of the curveball that's making me Instagram famous to get a discount on this first aid kit. Wait, how the fuck is that claimed again? You serious? I put bombs on that thing. It might be because you've done absolutely fuck all about the massive infestation problem you've got, you utter moron. So I suppose we better go sort that out. But that's when we get our next curveball to spawn. A well-oiled machine. This combined with the 2 other curveballs I have active will become incredibly productive. But seeing as it's an up-and-coming curveball, we'll get to that in a bit. While I've been loitering about, the doctors have decided they need some more plague samples. And there's some in this dead heart that's located just across the road. However, there is a juggernaut wandering about its back garden. So for once I decide to play it safe and repeatedly batter it with my rear end. Now I'm not particularly down with the kids, but I'm pretty sure this is the definition of a power bottom. The last time I had something this big near my rear end, I couldn't sit down for 2 days. I suppose that's what happens when you eat too much smart price granola. Anyway, I grab the samples and a few other bits to sell. I can then deliver them to the doctors and sell them the shit I'm never gonna use. Then with a sick reverse around a 90-degree corner. Anyway, onwards and upwards, we need to go clear that infested outpost. And we're gonna be going with the same tactic we did last time. Blast everything without a pulse and burn the freaks to oblivion. But on this occasion I decide to save the ammo resource and not set the landmines. And this wasn't planned, but it turned out to actually be quite a smart play. I then decide to clear out the infestation nearby, as that might be what's causing my outpost to become overrun all the time. And I certainly don't get stuck along the way. Wait, there's a juggernaut on the roof? There's no problem at all then, is he? But I refuse to let this opportunity go to waste. How can anyone possibly turn down the chance of an epic rooftop battle with a juggernaut? So using my arse end as a battering ram, Thursday night flashback, way, I clear out all of the zombies below. So now it's time for an epic cinematic showdown, for which you'll notice I turned off the HUD for. But then I realised I can't throw a pipe bomb if I don't know what's equipped. Okay, yeah, this was a mistake. So now with the immersion breaking HUD back on, it's time to duel. And I don't know what it is about a rooftop fight scene, but it just makes 12-year-old me weep with excitement. I think it might have something to do with the original Spider-Man trilogy. What can I say? Sam Raimi obviously shares my excitement for the rooftop fight scene. And before the comment section starts shouting about Jugs being immune to fire, I'm setting an ambiance, okay? Look how cool this is. In fact, looking back, I think I could have used this smoke as cover to get an easy win on him. Kinda like how smoke grenades shield you from the undead. Rather predictably, I do set myself on fire, and then I get stuck on the roof of the petrol station forecourt. It might be rather immersion breaking, but I've got to use the stuck radio command. What do you mean cost is discounted? It's free. Thankfully, I don't get teleported into the middle of a triple pack of ferals, so we can continue this cinematic masterpiece. Oh, hang on. No, get back up there, you dickhead. I narrowly avoid his next attack, then return fire with a shot of my own. And just like a rambling boomer, if you put enough lead into someone, he's bound to tumble. Yes, ha ha ha. Who is your master now? Oh, shit. But no plague in the world will stop me from ending this bastard once and for all. Although imagine how sick this would have looked with no HUD equipped. You know what? I think I might be the Christopher Nolan of State of Decay YouTube. Why not like the video and subscribe for more epic showdowns like this? Anyway, that fight has left me a bit short on resources, but luckily my outpost is nearby. This is what I get for being lazy and trying to take it a shortcut. The stuck command still has 19 seconds remaining on the cooldown, but I simply don't have time for that, so just use sheer willpower. Anyway, let's check out these curveballs. News travels fast. Basically, I'm Instagram famous, and I get shit heavily discounted. Then there's Scavenger Hunt, where we are a bit noisy, but the community are gathering expensive shit for me. Then finally, we have the cream of the crop. A well-oiled machine simply makes us unbeatable. We can craft items with fewer parts and materials, our food and meds production increases, and it also makes us a little bit quieter. This means, with the exception of materials, I am making absolute bank. 17 food a day. That is insane. That's actually mental. I use these discounts to upgrade as many of my outposts as possible for half of the material costs that I usually would. It still costs the full price on influence, and that's why I can't immediately upgrade everything to level 3. And it actually gets even better. But I didn't realise that till later in the session, so we'll get to that soon enough. In the meantime, it's time to scout out some of the land. I think it's about time we took out another play cart, and this seems quicker than looking around aimlessly. So let's smack some strangers meet. Luckily, the play cart is nearby, although we do have a medium-sized horde chasing me. After another strategical positioning, I try to enter the building quietly, but the knobheads inside have already heard my engine, so I pop out Wraith Energy and start smacking it up. With my newfound stamina, I can dodge through the crowds to stun them, and that gives me a couple of seconds to get a heavy hit on the heart. But when the crowds get too big, I drop a wily peak grenade and jump through the window. It's probably closer to my car than the play cart. But all is not lost. Although the flames may have missed, there's now a lot of smoke guarding the play cart, and I'm pretty certain that means the zombs can't see me, so I successfully get the first phase out of the way. Then the smoke dissipates at the worst possible time. Okay, yep, now I've got the plague. I got the Rona. Luckily, my chemistry skills rival Walter White, and I sort myself out with a handcrafted cure. But just when you think it can't get any worse. Oh. Okay, so that is going to be an issue. Luckily, I brought blow to gas for this exact eventuality. Pair that with a molly, and that's the game's most valuable explosive. That's the second phase out of the way, but I don't want to use any more bloater gas because they're very valuable and I haven't got a way of making them yet. So it looks like we're going back out on foot. We've only got one last can of Wraith Energy, which you can purchase using the link in the description using code JTalbot for 10% off at checkout. So unfortunately, this one's gonna have to be a quickie. I'm sorry, babe, but sometimes it happens, alright? We're gonna fight it in the open. I'm sure we all agree this isn't the ideal situation to be in, but when life throws a wheelbarrow full of shit at you, you use it as fertilizer. I actually once tried to buy industrial grade fertilizer, but apparently due to my previous Google searches it was deemed a security risk. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but one more molly clears the play cart. But I also want to loot it without having to come back to it later, so try taking the hordes on a wild little goose chase. And this actually worked surprisingly well, although it looks like some knobhead is trying to steal my loot. Actually, it turns out he's looking for some fuel at the military comm station nearby, and that was going to be my next pit stop, so I'm like, yeah, sure son, let's make it a road trip. But obviously not before looting the play cart. But as a general rule of thumb, my life is very rarely that simple. Oh shit! That is not a good thing. But Olsen looks like he got out unscathed. What an absolute prick. After the cloud dissipates, we rock up to the military station. We batter a zombie or two. Then I find a rucksack of jerry cans, which I trade to Olsen for a sack of medical supplies. And to be honest, I don't know if this was a good trade or not. In the comment section, what do you think I use more of? Molotovs or plague cure? I didn't realise how full my pockets were, so unfortunately I couldn't loot everything I wanted from the military comm station. I should probably start using a vehicle with a bigger boot than the Impaler. Anyway, I get back to my building outpost, you know, the one I cleared earlier, but there's an assortment of shit up my arse and I'm not particularly in the mood for a fight. Given the state of my health, I'm sure you can see why. So it's time to get out the landmines. Heavily discounted landmines, may I add. By the way, those landmines usually cost 3 ammo resources. Cutting it down to 1 basically makes me invincible. And that is all down to the well-oiled machine Curveball. If you get this Curveball, you absolutely need to make the most of it. Then after a quick heal up, I decide to go give some bullets to an allied enclave nearby. They're very grateful for my gift, and I don't think I've ever been collectively this nice in a single episode. But remember, my ulterior motive is rinsing them of influence. Next up, I want to loot this row of shops. I plan on turning one of these into an outpost, then use the landmines to keep me protected while I loot the others. However, in Lethal Zone, things can very quickly escalate. Honestly, these shops like fucking clown cars. How they got that many zombies in a DIY store, I'll never know. Hooch then contracts blood plague for the second time today, but I think I handled this very respectfully. So I once again inject myself with homemade medicine, but remember, Hooch has now done a solid 35 minutes of hard graft. I know he wants to have a little lie down, so my looting plan goes out of the window and it's time to retreat. We then swap to Jamie at the unfinished house, as she has some training she needs to complete. Once she maxes out her swords play, she'll be able to insta-kill zombies with a single button press. That paired with powerhouse and gunslinging, she'll be able to make the apocalypse her bitch. But first she needs to learn how to drop kick. Okay, Sam, that has actually worked really well.
Finish it off.
Now we gotta slice and dice everything without a pulse. But after killing a solid like 3 zombies, it hasn't gone up in the slightest. Looks like we're just gonna have to cut up some more undead meat. But very quickly the crowds grow out of control, and I didn't have a single Molotov in the supply locker, so I retreat back to safety and let the landmines take care of the massive horde. And those explosions draw a triple pack of knobheads, and I don't trust my dropkick ability quite yet, so I trust the landmines to once again deal with the issue. This has been an absolutely abysmal training sequence, so I decided to go back to helping out knobheads. That's the enclave I decided would be in knobs previously, and I still have a sack of medical supplies that Ulson gave me earlier. But before I go there, I want to make sure I'm well armed just in case a fight breaks out. I also notice I'm getting a bit low on the good pain medication, and my boy do I have a curveball that'll help sort out that situation. I can craft 9 bottles of painkillers and all it's going to cost is 2 jugs of ethanol and 1 medical resource. So I do what anyone would do in this situation and abuse it like an addict that had found a used needle. But what else can I create with these cheap resources? Only my favourite weapon of all time, and Molotovs are heavily discounted to 1 fuel resource and 50 scraps. I also get a similar discount when crafting ammunition through the workshop, but considering I don't use that much handgun ammo, I uninstall that mod and reinstall the rifle ammo press. And while we wait for that, I scrap all the weapons I have no intention on ever using, so I can have as many scraps as humanly possible, so I can craft as many Molotovs as a growing warlord needs. I then craft myself a ton of Molotovs, as well as a ton of 5.56 ammo. The 7.62 ammo is still heavily discounted, but I'm not sure it's worth 3 times the price of the 5.56. Have a look at all the ammo I've created. 537 5.62 rounds is absolutely insane in Lethal Zone. But that's not the only thing I was creating. I now have 90 Molotovs at my disposal. Anyway, I've got some medical supplies I need to drop off, and that actually goes down without a problem. I can't believe we've evolved from psychotic warlords to still complete psychopaths, but realising that humans are still actually quite a valuable resource. And on that surprising plot twist, it is time to end the video. Thank you for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe. There'll be a playlist in the top right hand corner of the screen that'll take you to the entire series. You should check it out, there's a really good storyline we got going on.